Hello, guys. Buenos días, buenas tardes, or buenas noches. Welcome to yet another Spanish 101 video. This one is going to be, I hope, very short and straightforward. We're going to talk about a new verb, the verb llamarse, or if you want to translate it literally into English, the verb to be called. Let's take a look at this verb very quickly. First of all, let's take into account that it means to be called, but in the sense of, like, if I say I am called Umberto, meaning my name is Umberto, okay? It's the verb you use in Spanish to say my name is. You can also say mi nombre es, which is literally my name is, but what you would usually say is yo me llamo Umberto. That literally means I am called Umberto, but that's the most typical way of saying what your name is or what someone else's name is in Spanish, okay? So let's take a look at the verb, okay? You will very quickly notice that unlike the two verbs that we have done before, unlike ser and tener, this one has three columns, okay? The column on the left, we already know, those are just the personal pronouns, right? All the possible subjects, all the possible people that can do an action. In the far right column, we have the forms of the verb. What do we have in the middle column? Basically, those are known as reflexive pronouns. Don't worry about those just yet, okay? Just know that for the verb llamarse, you need to use those pronouns, okay? You need to use those short words. Yo llamo does not mean I am called, right? That means I call. It's very, very different. Like I call on the phone or I call, speaking aloud so that someone comes, right? Llamarse is the one that means to be called, to be your name, right? So you need to use those little words in the middle. Let's pronounce the whole verb. Yo me llamo. That means I am called or my name is. Yo me llamo. Tú te llamas. And it's your called or your name is. One, you, right? Yo me llamo. Tú te llamas. Él se llama. He is called. Ella se llama. She is called. Nosotros nos llamamos. We are called. Ustedes se llaman. You guys are called. And finally, ellos se llaman. They are called, right? So this is a verb you use a lot for stuff like introductions. Hola, yo me llamo Humberto. What did I say? I said, hi, my name is Humberto, right? And I use the verb llamarse. I can also ask something like, ¿tú cómo te llamas? ¿Tú cómo te llamas? That means, what are you called? Or what's your name? Okay? So, let's take a look again at the slide from the previous video. You might recall that these were the images we used for the expressions with the verb tener. Okay? I hope you remember those. So we're going to combine those with the verb llamarse. Let's see what I mean. For example, listen to this Spanish sentence. Ella tiene calor. Se llama Carolina. I'm going to pronounce it again. Ella tiene calor. Se llama Carolina. Okay? Now, what does tener calor mean? If you remember the last video, you will recall that tener calor means to be hot, right? Let's look at those images. Which one is hot? The one on the bottom left, right? She took off her jacket, she's sweating, right? She's feeling really hot, right? Ella tiene calor. And then I said, se llama Carolina. What is that? Se llama Carolina. Well, I just used the verb llamarse, right? What I said is she's called Carolina, or her name is Carolina. This is Carolina right here. Ella tiene calor, se llama Carolina. She's hot, her name is Carolina. Okay? What we're going to do is pronounce the sentence in Spanish, right? And then we're going to try and find who it is that we're talking about, and we're going to give them their name. For example, second sentence. Él tiene razón. Se llama Colacho. Él tiene razón. What does tener razón mean? Do you remember? It means to be right. Which one here seems to correspond to that? Tener razón, to be right. The donkey on the bottom right? He's the one saying that 2 plus 2 is 4. He's totally correct. Él tiene razón. He is right. Now, se llama Colacho. I use the verb llamarse again. What is his name? Se llama Colacho. Colacho. Él tiene razón. Se llama Colacho. He's right and his name is Colacho. Next sentence. Ella tiene miedo. Ella tiene miedo. What does tener miedo mean? It's not to be hungry, it's not to be thirsty, it's not to be sleepy. Tener miedo means to be scared. Which of these guys is scared? The one that hates spiders, right? On your upper right corner. Ella tiene miedo. Se llama Adriana. What's her name? Se llama Adriana. Ella tiene miedo. Se llama Adriana. She's scared. Her name is Adriana. Next one. Él tiene sed. Él tiene sed. What is tener sed? It's to be thirsty. Who's thirsty? The one next to Adriana, right? The one with the glass of water. Él tiene sed. Se llama Nicolás. Se llama Nicolás. Okay? Él tiene 2 años. Él tiene 2 años. This one is peculiar, but it's the first one we did with the verb tener. Remember? Tener 2 años. What does that mean? Años is years. Dos is how many? 2, right? So, tener 2 años means to be 2 years old. Él tiene 2 años. Who's 2 years old? Very clearly, the little kid in the top left corner, right? He's celebrating his 2nd birthday. Él tiene 2 años. Se llama Carlos. Carlos tiene 2 años. Carlos. Okay? Remember that in Spanish, you don't say, I am 30 years old. You say, I have 30 years. You say, yo tengo 30 años, right? You use the verb tener for age. Next one. Él tiene frío. Él tiene frío. What does tener frío mean? It's to be cold, right? The shivering guy, right next to Carolina. Él tiene frío. Se llama Martín. Él tiene frío. Se llama Martín. Martín is the cold one, right? Él tiene hambre. What was hambre? Él tiene hambre. You remember that hambre is hunger, right? And in Spanish, when you say you're hungry, you say literally that you have hunger. Él tiene hambre. So he's hungry. Se llama Marco. Marco, right here. The one that's thinking about a sandwich. Just like me right now. I haven't had lunch yet. And the last one we already know. who it's going to be. She's sleepy. How do you say that? Remember? Tener sueño. So we want to use the form of the verb tener that fits ella. Ella tiene sueño. Ella tiene sueño. Se llama Jenny. Jenny tiene sueño. Okay? So, in short, the verb llamarse is the one you use for saying what people are called, what their names are, right? Including yourself. And you have to remember to use those little words, right? That were in the middle of the table. Okay. Muchas gracias, muchachos. Hasta pronto.